see that we can form a synergy, and that's how it worked. Yeah.
So I'll come to Sai. Cinematography. It's being the DOP for such a big film, right? I think it's a big film. I think the audience also thinks it's a big film. How, and given that there are different terrains, different moods. You go through a lot in that, right? You have the army in Kashmir, and then you go to Kerala, and then you go to Mukund's house, and then of course a lot of emotional. There's a big emotional graph in the film, right? How? What was your thought process behind that? Were you sure of the shots, and how did you? What was that process for you like?
First of all, good morning everyone. So, I always believe in having. Is it audible now? Yeah, I think so. First of all, I believe in having timeless quality images. I'm a big fan of Roger Deakins, and that's what I told him. And immediately, okay, he said, the next meeting, you're working on this film. So, I did a recce of almost like, first time we went to Kashmir during September or something. It was after summer. And we did a recce of 10 days. And initially our line producers over there, local managers and all, used to show the usual tourist locations where everyone used to shoot, like Sonmarg or Pahalgam or like that. But what needed for this film was quite different. Where Major Mukund was staying, the RR camps or everything was totally different. From the terrain, what they were showing us and what we needed for the film. So later on, what he did is, he does one thing. He calls sometimes and says that, have you seen this film? If I say yes, he says, watch it in this way. If I say no, watch it and call me back, and I tell you why I want you to watch it. So later on, during November or during the winter, I went back again. For a month I was there. He asked me to go there and stay there for a month, and I did recce all over Kashmir through the help of the army. So over there we were able to find where we wanted to shoot this film and what were the exact locations. And most of it were, none of the tourists would have gone there, and none of the filmmakers were allowed to shoot there because most of the permissions were only allowed by the Indian Army. We should thank them first. So like that, the terrains wise, we found out where to shoot and things happened. And in Chennai, we worked on the palettes and mood of the film, how we wanted to shoot it over there and in Chennai. So that's how it worked.
Okay. But you said this was you had to take a lot of permissions from the Indian Army. But what about all the equipment and everything that you had to carry? Like, well, did you go with less equipment but more high-end equipment to kind of help you manage that, or how was that aspect?
Equipment, we planned when we needed what kind of equipment. Cameras we shot with RLF and signature primes. So sometimes, maybe during the drones, if we need a drone shot or something, we have to get a permission with the army when we fly it. And during I think towards the end of the shoot, where we were shooting for second unit or something. It was almost over. We shot everything out there, and it was 2 days of shoot where we needed few shots. So we didn't get any permission over there, and we just flight it in some headquarters of some police station or something. And we went there. We were talking to the police officers for 2 hours. We were sitting there and talking to them. There were so many things happened.
Okay. So they didn't allow you to...
Yeah, they didn't allow us. And we had to call some other officials.
Yeah, obviously. But, other than that challenge, did you face other challenges while working on this film, especially given, like you said, the mood of the film is very, very important here. It's a highly emotionally charged film. So, how did you manage that?
Because he was there always guiding. So that would be the answer. And we were prepared.
See, when we think of Kashmir, it's always the picturesque. It is always the postcard Kashmir. Okay, that is not what is there in Amaran. Because in Amaran, when as he said, we went there twice for recce. Firstly, only him and I, we went on a recce. They were line producers over there. And it was very hot, surprisingly hot. Hot in the sense, I mean, you can never imagine a hot place like Kashmir during the summer or post summer. And secondly, only he went with one of my ADs back then, and at that time it was snowing, and it was all white everywhere. It was white, and we were very uncertain of the dates of the actors. Actors in the sense, Shiva Karthikeyan was doing two other films that time, so we didn't know. It was always getting postponed because the other film was getting postponed. So these kind of things impact our schedules, our planning. No matter how good a planner you are, you should always be spontaneous. Every day there will be a challenge. Every day there will be new difficulties, or you'll have to maneuver. You'll have to navigate through that and only achieve your final vision. Sometimes it leads to something else also, but we'll have to bring it back or make the conditions work according to us. I think that way. Firstly, we had a different, surprising Kashmir to us. Then we saw the snow white Kashmir. Later, the day he came back, it was all getting brownish in color with the marsh mixed in it. Then we went on another recce together. That was in the month of March. It was post snow, and it was half white, half land. Finally, we could shoot only in the month of May. It was peak summer again. So we had shot the summer of Kashmir. Luckily, fortunately, we were able to see the entire Kashmir without the snow cladding the entire people, the landscape, and all of that. So we could see life through it. And so the challenges would be those uncertainties, because he cannot come to a conclusion until that day shoot occurs. I mean, he was prepared for it from the month of April for a May month shoot. And the equipments also keep changing, and we can't source all the equipments from Jammu and Kashmir itself. It has to come from Chandigarh or from Chennai or from Bombay, and everything is going to be expensive. So we need to be very specific and precise about the equipments, the kind of manpower that you call, and how many days we keep them there, and how many days we use these. So drones and all were called only on selective days. So they'll have to fly from Chennai or Chandigarh, and they'll come and they'll shoot those shots for us and leave. Yeah, and if we had missed something, then we won't be able to shoot that shot. So mostly we did everything. So those kind of challenges were there. And
so now I have to bring in Kalai. The editing, of course, was beautiful. You know, you're keeping in the tension, the mood of the film, carrying the story forward, you know, while talking about the major, also showcasing the family, what was going on in Chennai, and ensuring that there's no break, you know, where there's no lag in the film, where people don't start, you know, droning out and like snoozing, right? Did you have a big discussion with the director and Sai before the, you know, as you kept shooting, or how did your work take place? Or is only on the editing table that it happens, which I'm sure a lot of the audience also wants to know.
It's good morning, everyone. Actually, director make my job easier. He written all in the screenplay. Screenplay was very clear, and he was very clear what he want, so that it was very easier to present it as well. I just created a pace for the film and equal rhythm to the film. Biggest strength of the film is emotion.
Right.
Not only in hero side, antagonist part also there is a big emotions. So that we have to create that kind of pace to give the emotions to connect the audience. So that what he written is what he shot. We just removed one or two fun elements only.
Okay.
Otherwise, what he written is what he shot, what I edited. It's not a big challenge for me. What is the big challenge is Kashmiri language only. It's a big challenge for me.
Right.
Otherwise, it was very easier, and fun to work with him.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But, there were a lot of close-up shots, right, which you used, especially Sai Pallavi and those kind of shots, how did you, manage, the music, the BGM also plays an element, right, when you're showcasing that, and the editing. So how did you guys, were you in sync, like, this is what this is? How did that work out? And you both are very young also, and it's a highly emotional film. Like, how much did you connect with that? That also I want to know.
Actually, we used to use all the how to say, it's a grammar of edit.
Okay.
Some close-ups only connect you emotionally.
Right.
So that we shot that way, I edit that way. So that the emotions and close-ups comes well through the lighting, all the.
Right. Okay.
And Sai Pallavi did well.
It's all
Yeah, she was fantastic in the film, of course. Sai Pallavi was brilliant. So a lot of credit goes to her and SK also, Shakati. Do you want to add to that?
No, we've been friends before the film itself for the last 2 years.
So you have a good chemistry.
Yeah, so what happens is I shoot, and the other day or like 2-3 days after, he sits on the rough cut. I just ask him, is it working? How's it? Because there were not a lot of inserts in the film because it's not needed. It's a biographical action drama. So I used to ask him, do you need any insert? He would say, yes, I need it. So later on, I wouldn't shoot it, and